Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20 plus years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to show you alternator replacement on this 2002 GMC Sierra. This is very similar for many GMC and Chevy trucks and SUVs from 99 to 06. Tools you'll need are 8, 10, and 15 millimeter sockets with ratchet and a screwdriver. To figure out which alternator you have, you want to find in your glove box this tag. And on this vehicle, it's kind of hard to probably see, but the code is KG8, and that is a 130 amp alternator. The other common code is a K68, which is the 105 amp. Generally, a standard vehicle has the 105 amp. If your vehicle has the towing package, you'll have the 130 amp. Use an 8 millimeter wrench to disconnect the negative battery cable. Your intake hose by removing or loosening 2 clamps, one there and one there. Okay, and we're going to kind of speed up through this part here. Use your screwdriver to kind of pry in, break the rubber loose from the plastic, maybe twist it a little bit as well, and then pull it from the throttle body. And also pry, there's a little clip that holds the radiator hose in, pry that out with your screwdriver as well. 8 millimeter socket and ratchet to remove this top cover. Okay, so you pull up and then forward. Okay, here's a connector here. You pull, I'm just using my finger to kind of pry the tab back. Pull that out. Okay. Then this is a 10 millimeter nut to remove back here. Okay, so now you can see your tensioners right here. So what you're going to do is take a 15 millimeter socket and ratchet and put the socket on there. Okay, and then that takes you just move the ratchet clockwise, and that takes the tension off. You can pull the belt either off of your tensioner, or I'm actually over here pulling it off of the idler pulley in the middle. Okay, and then slowly release this back. It's going to actually go back further than the original point. Okay, and I'll get your wrench back off. Okay, now there's 2 15 millimeter bolts to remove right here. Okay, then just use your screwdriver. Pry up. Get the alternator free. Pry up on the other side. Okay, and the alternator comes up and out. So here's my new alternator from 1A Auto. You can see everything's exactly the same. This post is the same, has the same connection here. Everything's going to bolt in exactly the same. My original alternator is working fine in this truck, so I'm just going to reinstall the original. Just kind of a video test mule. For installation, I'm just going to use a little bit of penetrating oil just on the mounting points, just so the alternator kind of slides in there easily. Okay, so reinstallation. Make sure our that's out of the way, and then kind of slide it back down in. I'm going to try and do as much of this by hand as possible. You never want to use a hammer to pound it in. You can use a rubber mallet if you need a little bit of persuasion. Okay, so I've got that bolt in. Both bolts are in. Get them started and going, and then we'll tighten them up. And when you tighten these bolts up, you want to be firm, probably between 30 and 40 foot-pounds. They don't have to be overly tight, though. Okay, so plug in that lead, 10mm bolt for the battery lead. Tighten that up. I'm going to be snug with this, you don't have to be extremely tight. Put your engine cover back on, slide it back. I just kind of press down on the bolt and walk it around a little bit so you find the spot. And just tighten this up a little bit, just firm. Okay, so first I went down around my crank pulley, up and around the water pump with the back side of the belt, then around the power steering pump. Okay, and so now I have this part that I can hold to put onto the alternator. I'm going to set it there for a second. Okay. Take my socket, put it on my 15mm bolt on my tensioner. Okay, and then while I pull this way on the tensioner, take the belt and pull it up and onto the alternator. Okay, and then the tensioner takes over, and I'm just going to push it on a little more to my idler pulley here. Make sure it's pretty well centered. Okay, so after you have the belt on, just a quick check. Make sure it's on all the pulleys. Look way down at the crank pulley and make sure that it's on correctly down there. And also, obviously over here, the alternator and the power steering pulley. Everything looks good. Okay, and we're going to fast forward through this section, which is just putting that tube back in basically, and pushing the rubber onto the plastic, tightening up the clamps, and reinstalling that little clip that held the radiator hose to it.
Okay, and now we'll reconnect the negative battery cable.
And just make sure you get that nice and tight. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.